All right, Disruptors, I got a special edition of Your First Franchise. We have a very special lady by the name of Jessie Brelsford. She is from Kent Island on the eastern coast of Maryland. She comes from Bear Stearns, but she made an interesting journey into the food world. She is the founder of Taste Buds. Jessie, I want to welcome you to the show.
Well, pleasure to be here.
So, since we're talking about food in your world here, and we can kind of unpack how you got there, there's a parent show to this called Close the Deal. Where do you take somebody? Let's say it's a vendor that wants to work with your business. Where would you take them to dinner or to breakfast or lunch in your hometown? And tell us where Kent Island is exactly.
Yeah, that's a great question. So Kent Island, we're on the eastern shore of Maryland. So we're about 40 minutes from Washington, D.C., 45 minutes from Baltimore. So easily accessible, but the slower pace of life. I say the eastern shore is, a little bit slower than the western shore. Really nice place to live. So that's where we are. And I think that reflects my style. So I'm from here, born and raised. I left for many years, and we can talk about, went to college in Boston, lived in New York City, which is where I started Taste Buds Kitchen, lived there for 15 years. Where I would take someone is the Big Owl Tiki Bar.
Ooh.
So if you are from here in Dock, literally the Dock, and they have picnic tables and they have great orange crushes, great fish tacos, rockfish tenders. We live on the water, so we love everything seafood here. It's just kind of my style, good food, but informal, have a great time. We actually had our drinks, so the rehearsal dinner for our wedding there. That would be my style, where to take then of course, 5-star wonderful restaurant. But I love that style, and it's really good local food.
You're speaking my language because my background is promoting Louisiana seafood many years ago. So
There you go.
I love it. All right. Who or what are you grateful for that helped you get you where you are along this journey?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm grateful for so many people. I would say my family, really first and foremost. They have been so supportive, from my parents to my grandparents to my siblings. When I think back to the first Taste Buds Kitchen, I used to rent space in restaurants for cooking classes before we had our own space. So this was part of the recession before they were open. Or they'd be open at dinner. They weren't open for lunch. I'd knock on their door, pay them $100. We would have our cooking classes in their restaurant. But my parents, my mom, my grandmother would come up and literally help me pound the pavement looking for the space that is now Taste Buds Kitchen, our flagship location in New York State. My dad had driven up a trailer from Maryland with Home Depot cabinet. My family has been all in and supporting me every step of the way from when I could walk and beyond. I would say I'm very grateful for them. I'm also very grateful for the Taste Buds Kitchen family, our team that has helped me build this. It is not a one-woman show. We have a fantastic team of porters and franchisees. It's a great group of people. So I would say, people is what I'm grateful for in this journey, and a lot of chefs in the kitchen, for lack of a better word, helping us get to where we are today.
And, you don't get anywhere without a team to build a business like what you've got.
100%. No.
So how do you make the transition from Bear Stearns to, how did you decide?
I grew up in Maryland. I'm one of 23 first cousins. I was always the Pied Piper, always the babysitter, doing activities. I'm the oldest of 3 siblings. I was the one baking the brownies, making the birthday cakes. I just love being around kids. I love being in the kitchen. My mom loved to cook. My grandmother loved to cook. My great-grandmother loved to cook. I loved her sweet potato biscuits. So I just come from a long line of kids. Fun. I also love numbers. I went to Harvard. I majored in economics. I was a Division I swimmer, worked in finance at Bear Stearns. I love both sides of me, essentially, and that's how Taste Buds Kitchen was born. I started it as a hobby, teaching kids to bake on the weekend while working full-time at Bear Stearns. So I'm working 60-hour week, and I do a class once a month. Never thinking this would be a business, never thinking this would be a franchise. I didn't even know about franchising then. And I just started as a hobby. I loved it. Clients loved it. Soon my phone started ringing, will you do my kid's birthday party? Can you do a summer camp? To which I just said, no, I can't. I'm so sorry. I'm literally working, 7 to 7, Monday to Friday. I was in fixed income sales and trading. So that's how it started. And then it just kind of snowballed. I started to love it. I can do the numbers, right? I'm running a business. I can figure out the finance piece. But then I also get to be around kids baking. I also get to teach new skills and have fun in the non-competitive world of the kitchen. And I love both sides. So that's a very short version of how this can be.
So you weren't looking to solve a problem. You were just doing something for fun.
That I left. And then I realized This solved a lot of people's problems because they were calling me. They were literally, and that's actually, long story short, how I got into franchising as well. So when I started Taste Buds Kitchen, so we offer cooking classes, parties for kids and adults. So $2.99, beautiful event space, 2,000 square feet. You come in and you cook with. Whether you're coming for kids' summer camp, your child's birthday party, a caregiver and me class. And then on the adult side of our business, which is about 40%, we're doing BYOB, adult date night, corporate events, bachelorette parties, 30th birthdays, 50th birthdays, 70th birthdays. So that really is the vision, is a beautiful kitchen studio where clients will reserve from our public classes or book it just for that. So when I started, I just loved this. We didn't have a space. We would use restaurants like I shared. And then how did I decide to do it full time? So basically the demand kept growing. I kept thinking like, whoa, maybe I could do that. I'd always wanted to own my own business. My dad owned his own business. Grandfather owned his own business. And both of them did it on top of a corporate career. So that was kind of always a thought for me. And then I just kind of thought, I can do that. I was young at the time. I was 26. I didn't own a home. I wasn't married. I was kind of, don't know what you don't know. And so I decided to dive in head first and give it a go full time in 2018. So I've been doing this for 17 years. My baby can drive. And we have now 12 locations open coast to coast and 4 more in development currently, which is really exciting.
And it started by you borrowing the kitchen the kitchen and the space from restaurants in New York City. What was that? Okay, the first time, I'm going to call up a restaurant and I'm saying, I got a pitch for you. I want to go cook for people in Europe. How'd that go?
Oh, yeah, great question. So my actual very first event was just before that. It was in a floor walk-up studio in Soho. It was my roommate, fiance's studio. 2 guys who lived here. So I think I did maybe 4 events there. 5th floor walk-up apartment. The deal was I would clean it in exchange for a class, just because I didn't want my clients seeing what 2 25-year-old guys look like right in their home. So I cleaned it top to bottom, had the cooking classes. Clients loved it, raved, but I was quickly like, okay, I need a different venue. So I literally just pounded the pavement. I didn't even call. I would literally walk. I lived in Greenwich Village, 6th Avenue and 11th Street, the heart of Manhattan. I would walk up and down, and if I saw on their door they didn't have lunch, I would not. But now this is 2008, right? So the recession happened.
Oh my
And
God.
there's a lot of restaurants struggling to hold on. And I'm a friend, like a lot of restaurant owners at the peak. I had 5 restaurants that we worked with. We had one in Tribeca, we had one in Flatiron, one in Greenwich Village. I knew their schedule. I knew how big of events they could host. And so I would work with them, and I would give them probably with about $100. They would let me use their kitchen. I would bring in all the ingredients and the equipment that we needed to be kind of kid size. We started with the kid focus and then added adult once I started it full time. And it was a great relationship for a while until it became like, okay, as the next step, I can't do all that I want to do. Hearing stand mixers on the subway is not a sustainable lifestyle for me or my team. So we did sign our first lease in 2010. We did it in restaurants for 2 years, and we've been in that space in New York City ever since.
So let's look at what the model looks like today. So someone considering a franchise with you, got concept, I love the concept, education, food, bringing people together, all those things work so well. What does somebody look at when they come into you? What do they look at?
In terms of investment?
What does the model look like for them to get started if they want to get to the business?
So the range of investment is $382,000 to $531,000. So that's our item 7, your all-in cost. That includes the franchise fee. The rest of the money is money you're paying to local vendors. Everything from construction, obviously the biggest part of that. Having a lawyer review your lease. Everything that you need from today until your kitchen is open. So that's your range of investment. And we're here to support you every step of the way. So we have Owners Track 1. We have Owners Track 2. We have ops training, marketing training. We've got great partner vendors. We work with a national real estate broker. My partner in the franchise business is my husband, Jeff, and he's an architect and did for former commercial real estate in New York City. So he's really helpful because all of our franchisees currently have never been a franchisee before, and all except one have never owned a business before. So we're really helping people navigate something that's really new to them, which is commercial real estate. So how to find that great space, how to build it out, and then we'll support them through the life.
So what does the space look like when somebody walks in?
That's beautiful. 1,000 square feet. You walk in the street, A lot of spaces work. We're typically in line, in a plaza, but we have some standalone spaces. I used to say we're never in Starbucks. We actually are in a former Starbucks in Palo Alto, California, when they pulled out of the area we moved in. So 2,000 square feet, you walk into this beautiful kitchen. Subway tile on the wall, cabinetry, stainless steel table, colorful, beautiful equipment. So you walk in and you always feel like the kitchen is set up just for your event.
Oh, wow.
Whether you're coming in for 30 people for a corporate team building event to make handmade pasta, or you're a 9-year-old coming in with 10 friends to do our Battle Cupcake birthday party. Space always is set up just for your group, for your size, for your age, for the recipes that we're making that day. You cook start to finish. We're learning tips and tricks. Everything is from scratch, all real ingredients. Have fun creating what we're learning, what we're making, and then you leave with leftovers, great time, and recipes.
Do they come back for additional classes? Do you see that? Is it a one-time event, or do you build those?
Yeah, so a lot of our offerings are one-time events, but a lot of our families grow with us and come multiple times a year. So we do like a Saturday morning caregiver and me class for the really little kid, like 2 to 6-year-old. We run those every Saturday. We have people come sometimes a couple times a month, depending on what the season is. Most families, we call them like our loyals, we'll see them 4 to 6 times a year. So definitely repeat, where most of our offerings are purchased on a per time basis.
Well, I love the Battle Cupcake.
Battle Cupcake is so fun. They're making their cupcakes from scratch, frosting from scratch, and then decorations. And so the teams will battle it out to create the best version. And we judge based on taste, presentation, creativity. The kids get really excited. The parents can, sometimes people have brought in like celebrity chef judges. Really fun. And to see how creative the kids get and have fun with it.
All right, cool. I love that. All right. So we talked about the investment side. We talked about the concept, what the consumer sees or the guest sees when they walk in the door. What does the revenue side look like of the business?
Yeah, great question. So, our
2 quick things. Number one, at 57 years old, I do my best to hit the gym 4 or 5 days a week, and my body screams for the right nutrients. To get that done, I take AG1 every single day before I walk out that door. Got a special offer for you. You get a free year supply of K2 and D3 and 5 travel packs of AG1. Just visit any of the landing pages on closethedeal.com and you'll find the special offer. Number 2, I've got a brand new book coming out called Your First Franchise Roadmap. You can get a free copy of it at yourfirstfranchise.com/roadmap. yourfirstfranchise.com/roadmap. Now let's get back to the show.
average sale in 2023 was $741,000, and our average NOI or net operating income was 31%. That was around $229,000. So it's very healthy small business run by a small business team. We have the franchisee at the helm. You'll have a full-time person helping you to run the kitchen, teach a lot of your classes, help with marketing, social media, responding to clients, things like that. And then a very small team of additional instructors.
So you mentioned a number of the things that you use to support. How do you help them market the business to get the doors open?
Yeah, so we've made a great hire last summer, VP of marketing, and his whole focus is how to drive unit level economics for the kitchen. So these numbers I just shared, or even before the fruits of his labor were able to take effect, we're really focused on helping to generate leads, both on a corporate side, B2B, we are for corporate events, right? So we're helping to drive corporate leads, currently working on different initiatives to help drive that core kitchen. We're also training you on how to do local grassroots on the ground so that you can reach out to the corporates in your area and really smart strategic ways to get their business. So that's like our B2B arm. And then our B2C, which is most of it, birthday party, summer camp, date night classes. We have everything from the website to social media ads that help to direct clients to you, both paid and then organic posts that we're doing, and really training you on how to respond, providing scripts on how to respond, having timeliness competitions, like who can respond the fastest, who really want to give back to clients that are interested in our service. So not just operational support, but a lot of marketing support as well.
What does the ideal candidate look like for you all?
Yeah. So why I love this and why I got into franchising was a very long story as well. But when I opened Taste Buds Kitchen, I built it organically. People would come 2010 when we signed our lease in 2013, 14, And they said, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Will you open one in my market? They were visiting New York from wherever, Tampa, down, Colorado. My response was always like, I don't really see that for myself. And they said, well, could I do it? Would you teach me how to do it? Which I said, I'm not sure. Let me figure out the business model that I was developing. And then I would look into franchise as a part. So that's what happened and why I ultimately did franchise. When I decided to franchise, I had 120 people that had reached out, asked me.
Oh my gosh.
Could do that. Not just from coming to our Taste Buds Kitchen in New York City. That's where we started, and there was 8.5 million people, and so many people that come to visit, they would read press about us or whatever the case was. They were familiar with the concept. So that's what led me to do the franchise search in terms of, do I want to do this as the next thing?
Wow.
And then to answer your question of who's our great candidate, that's what I love about it. There's like so many different backgrounds in our franchisee community today, and the common traits that they have is they're engaged, right? They're engaged owners in the business. They love kids, families, and food. Really what you have to love to be good at it. You don't have to be a chef. I don't think any of our owners are classically food trained, but you have to want to be engaged not only in your business, but in your community. Love kids, families, and really want to dive right in. We can train you on all the other pieces, but those are the main things that we look for. We have probably half our husband-wife team, a lot of husband-wife team. We also have a lot of really independent, smart women who've left corporate careers, traveling a lot, want to be home with their kids. But that engagement, passion to be part of their community and to run their business is what we see.
What year did you actually start franchise?
We started franchising in 2013. The process, we're ready to sell by 2014. It took about a year to go through that writing of the FDD, ops manual, all of that.
So that's really important because when somebody comes on board, they're really working closely with you to learn.
Yes, we are an emerging brand. Right now we have 8 people and growing at HQ. So a good team. And we're definitely on a exciting path to open up locations coast to coast. We want to open 200 in the next 4 to 5 years. Really exciting. And we want to do it ideally with people who want to own 2 or 3. I call them little mini TDK empires. So hopefully, ultimately, maybe we'll have 75 franchisees in them. Much more attainable number who we work with. We certainly will award one, but we're looking for people who have a great market, are great, smart, passionate individuals. A lot of times they want their kids to be involved in this, right? Very much family people, and that's great. Your kids can attend the parties, your kids can work the parties, right? We have grandkids also involved. We have all different life cycle franchisees at every different stage of their personal family life.
So you want to get to 200 locations. Wow. That's awesome. I love that. Now, when people, so the headquarters is not in New York. You started in New
York.
Right? Just to
That's
clarify.
where it started. We call it the flagship location. That was where HQ was.
Right.
My husband and myself moved to Maryland 10 years ago, and this is where HQ is based. So this is really affordable, easy to get to, great for trading. So we do our annual summit here where all of our franchisees fly in. We get together every fall. And then we're doing our Meet the Team days for prospective franchisees. And then for all of our in-person trainings when they come to us, and then of course we'll go to the location for grand opening.
I love it. All right. But I want people to reach their full potential when they consider a franchise. What is the number one piece of advice you give somebody, whether it's your franchise or any franchise? What is that piece of advice? I mean, because you've evolved in a different way. You got into this kind of by accident. That really wasn't intentional, but if somebody's considering going into a franchise, investing with y'all or somebody else, there are certain things they need to consider. What would you share with them?
Yeah, so this is my best advice for a franchise or anything is to be scrappy. So get in there and know that this is your business. So you're the one that can make it successful. We have them all. We have the support. Hopefully other franchisors do as well. But what are you passionate about? And what are you going to be excited to wake up each and every day and do it? As much as a franchise is a business in a box, it has to be worked. It has to be operated. It has to be run. So that's what I would say. The tenacity, the excitement, the willingness to put in the work and the effort to make your business successful. And we're, like I say, we're all in business for ourselves, but not by ourselves, right? We have a playbook. We have written standards to follow, but it's your business. So no one can determine and make it successful other than you.
And it's going to take, that's called work. It was every business thing.
Be scrappy and put in the work, put in the time, right? You can read how we do marketing. And we'll be part of it. We'll definitely do a heavy lift for you. But if you're not doing your piece, you're not going to reach the potential that you, right? So it's there in front of you. You just have to walk the path and put in the time to make it all that it can be for you and your family.
100%. That's the perfect place for us to button up. Jessie, I appreciate you being here. Folks, if you want to learn more about the Taste Buds Kitchen, get in touch with me. I'm working with Jessie and her team, and we'll get you in I love the food business, and this is a fun business. Especially, the rewarding part is not just seeing the parents, but the kids smile and have
Oh, they're smile. And if you like food business, you'll especially like us because we're not a restaurant. We don't sell food. We don't cater food. We don't have gas. We use induction. So a lot of the regulations that make restaurants such a heavy lift in many markets aren't as applicable. So it is a quicker business to get up and running. We're like 8 to 12 months. So literally people we're talking to right now hope to be open ahead of next summer camp season, which is really exciting.
That is all. I appreciate it. And we look forward to sending some business your way.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for having me.
Okay, take care. And that is a wrap with Jessie. And she and I were talking after the show. And what I love about the food business is this. Think about the morning news, noon or afternoon news in your local market. The news is starving for great stories and fun, lighthearted stories in local market. And this business lends itself to that. Is the fun factor, working with the kids and the parents and educating them and having a great time. And then you can associate a great cause to it. You've got a PR story. Not only that, it's social media friendly and it's a great business. And you don't have all the traditional things to deal with, like with a regular restaurant, like what she was just talking about. So to learn more about it, get in touch with me at yourfirstfranchise.com. Hit that contact us button and we'll talk. I'll get in touch with you right away. And I've got a brand new book for you called Your First Franchise Roadmap. You can check it out on Amazon and know this, 100% of the profits from that book will go to Make-A-Wish. So now be intentional and let's make today a great day. Bye-bye.